it pretty? Gotta get this lighting a little bit better.
Yeah, just chuck it on that, please.
Yeah, we're live on Facebook.
We've gone fully live. Oh my god. I wasn't like expecting that. But
So-
recording.
Like and share, people. Like and share.
I can't. I'm on my phone, so
Well, you are useless right now.
I'm massively useless. So
But that's why we love you.
I'm just there to make up the
Yay.
numbers. Mikey, stop clicking things.
And of course, I have to send a message to all our patrons as well.
All right.
I think this is the first time I've been naturally lit in all of our podcasts. I do. Mikey, have some respect.
We're live on Mixer, YouTube, Facebook, and what more?
Green screen loving wanker.
You're a gamer. It burns us. All right.
Don't look at me.
All right.
Fucking yeah.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Looks great.
Oh, Austin's here.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Yeah, let's just give Austin a shout out.
So you want to move me off the call right now, or could I stay on for a while longer?
Awesome.
Anyone here got a degree?
Degree? I have two
So
degrees.
Austin is our most intellectual listener.
I have two. I have a bachelor's and a master's.
Oh, fuck you then.
I have two bachelors.
No. No.
You uneducated trash. No.
Sorry,
I love you guys.
Sorry. Jartan has two bachelors. They're called gimps. Don't act like you're educated, mate.
Oh my god, you people. I love it. Well, you know, we all have our special talents. It's okay. Yeah. Yeah. We all have our mastery.
Yep. I'm good at making babies.
Yeah. Well, you keep talking.
Wow.
There you go.
No, I'm going to go have a shit. Like, I'm actually going to go to the toilet. So keep going.
He's not even going to listen to us. What's the point of having Jartan on? I mean, he's not even going to...
Sorry, who are you talking about? Can't even read his name. His name don't even make sense.
That'd be good. What? That's a real pizza, not a casserole.
I thought it was on a picture. It is my picture.
That's a flat. See, you can see everything. It fits.
It's my picture. That's all that matters. This is progress.
Yeah. Well, we need it, obviously. Yeah.
I hope my chewing doesn't come out audibly.
No.
I'm doing it really slowly. That make a lot of noise.
I know that there's a way that you have to capture the audio that's on your computer. I know that's difficult for the Macs, but it should be pretty easy for the Windows.
Mikey, you have a problem. Yeah. All right.
Right, I'm gonna eat my pizza. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my phone over there, and then eat my pizza so I don't get picked up on the audio. Because who wants to hear that?
That's
Yeah,
weird.
exactly.
Why do we have subtitles?
You could turn those off.
Is
Yeah.
Is that me?
I think it might have been automatic.
There we go.
Let him remember there's a delay.
Is it audioble? Picture of walk past.
Can you hear Mikey now? Yeah.
Can I Austin,
Yeah,
can you hear Mikey now? Just let us know as soon as you can.
So, Brandon, what have you been up to?
Well, Sunday was Mother's Day, so that was kind of fun. Did a little gardening work, and dinner and stuff like that. Movies. And then yesterday I did some editing, and uploaded some videos to Dropbox. So, very... like, Noah, he can't hear you at all.
Well, everybody, welcome to the BIM podcast, having the usual technical difficulties that we always have.
We're really good at that.
Yeah, we're really good at this.
We're really good at this.
And stuff. Like.
Come on, Mikey.
That was my best American accent, by the way. That was the best I could do.
That's terrible.
I know. So,
can anybody hear Mikey? So my question is actually, does anybody want to hear Mikey? That's actually my... Sometimes you just gotta get knocked down to get back up.
yeah, so Sunday was Mother's Day. What did you do yesterday?
I did a little work in the morning because it's getting hot in the afternoon, so it's really hard to work in the garage while it gets without any real airflow or anything. But I'm actually working on a project right now, which I'm kind of excited about. I'm working on a cat-sized couch for my cats. So that's through crocheting. And so I've been working on that, and it's been kind of fun. But I need to wait for more yarn to come because I don't apparently have enough.
Okay. Cool.
But that's the kind of project that I'm working on, and I've been watching a lot of Star Trek movies. So quarantine's going great. I'm just so trying to figure out what to do.
Yeah, like I'm building a couch for my cat and watching Star Trek movies. Like, yeah.
What else am I supposed to do?
Oh shit.
I
Nice.
there are going to be we are going to have a drone job coming up soon, so we get to do some drone shots, which I'm really excited about. Yeah, totally. I'm also going to eventually end up getting a drone of my own instead of having to use the office ones.
Drone.
Yeah, there's the new
Drone.
There's the new Mavic Air Mini, Air 2s, not the minis. It's the Mavic Air, and it's a 2, and it will shoot in, I believe it's 8K hyperlapse.
8K drone rabbit.
They are not. I don't know. Has anybody been able to hear Mikey, or should we just keep it off?
Hang on a minute. If we can just isolate Brenna's mic. Plutonium.
I'm going to ignore you people as much as I possibly can.
You people.
You people.
Hey, by the way, can anybody hear? Can we hear? Can somebody hear Mikey now? Because he is occasionally talking, and so this conversation must be super weird for people watching, and they can only hear 3 of the 4 voices. So it might be, but there is we have some important information that we have to share every time. Brenna, will you do that for us, please? Yeah, of course.
Do we need to record it? I want to make sure that Mikey can be heard. Like, that's my main priority as a producer right now, is that Mikey's important. Why did you laugh, Wade?
You're clearly taking some money from Mikey. You think Mikey's important.
Right. Okay. We record.
No Mikey on the Facebook feed. No you. No Mikey on the Facebook feed.
You have to pay for Mikey's voice.
Yeah, he's not that
It's
old
that
90s
nice.
scrambled porn. Send the Tom jar.
Oh my god. This is getting worse.
Jesus fucking Christ.
This is getting worse.
Yeah, that was probably the grimmest intro you've ever done.
Anyway. Right.
That's fine.
Well, everybody, welcome to the Big Podcast. Just as Mikey had said. So before we get started, just make sure that if you are yet to be a Patreon subscriber, please go to patreon.com/thebinpodcast. And you can pay for wonderful content that you won't get. Shut up. All right. Stop making that noise. Or I'm gonna have to turn this thing around.
This is important information for the people to know.
Right.
Yeah.
And as I we have we do have new patrons, but I think we should do that more for our regular one. But if you sign up now, you will get a shout out on this coming Thursday's podcast. So please go to patreon.com/thebinpodcast. Give us $1, and then we'll say your name.
Yeah, you lucky fuckers.
I will say it in my sweetest California voice.
California lip. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh.
So please.
Everyone just dived. Everyone dived off.
See.
Before we carry on with this recording,
yes.
I need to set my stuff up properly. So I'm gonna run and get my bits and then set myself up. Are you talking amongst yourselves?
I think that's a personal issue, Wayne. Gotta get all my bits.
Brenna, look, at the end of the day, everyone wants my bits, not just you. Right? So let me go and sort this out. I'm going to share it around. So
okay,
be professional.
All right.
Set this stuff up. So
we'll see you in a little bit, Wayne.
Yeah, I'm going to dive out of this and then come back.
We'll see you in a little bit.
I'll just stop my video.
All right.
It's okay.
I like this podcast is just turning into
making. Yeah, right. Go away. I'll be back in a minute.
No.
Yeah, I just want to know, like, are we still live on Facebook with you muted, Mikey? Going through might be one of the like share my computer audio kind of feed bingies. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah. Right.
So
I mean,
so this is kind of like a trial run for this coming Thursday. So everybody just
right.
bear with us for a bit. We're glad that you're here. We're glad that you're listening. If you want,
and we're glad that you're all gonna go to patreon.com/thebinpodcast and become patrons so that we can give you a shout out on this coming Thursday's podcast.
There are a lot of bonus content coming because we are going to change our RSS feed provider so that we're going to start like pumping out every episode that we've done that haven't been posted yet. We have a lot of fantastic extra content and bonus content that you only pay $1 a month and you'll be able to access all of that as soon as we change our RSS provider. And yeah, but I just have to wait until the next month because we're already paid for this month and I don't want to pay double. So, but if you went into patreon.com/thebinpodcast and gave us a little bit more money, I could do that tomorrow.
There you go.
Right?
There you go.
And we also have a very important thing you can do for us. You can like, share, subscribe on YouTube or Spotify or Apple Podcasts, or wherever you have your listen to podcasts, or wherever we do our live streams, like, share, subscribe, and make sure that you comment and give us your input, because we really love to hear from you, and we really want to hear if you think that we're wrong. That's the best thing in the world. Like, let us know if you think that we got things wrong, and we'll correct it if we were wrong, which I don't think we are, because I'm never wrong. Stop laughing. So
It's okay. Nobody can hear him.
yeah. Okay. So yeah, I'm just going to comment on Facebook. We are very sorry for the technical difficulties.
Yeah. That's
Yes,
always the fun
so-
part.
Yes.
Can you give me your girlfriend's phone number so I can text her?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, well, it's gonna happen one day. Better watch it. Oh my god. Kill me now. Kill me now.
So, Brenna,
Yes.
you've been crocheting.
Crochet.
Crochet. It's French.
Crocheting
y'all hear
on
me?
the couch for your cats and watching Star Trek movies. I have nothing going on in my life, nothing new. I've just been sitting at home, not doing anything. I have nothing to report.
None of that is true.
I don't know. I don't know what you're referring to.
None of
so
that
we're
is
going to-
true. Please stop lying. Your fans would like to know something new. Anything? Any changes in your recent history?
No, I went for a walk yesterday. That was basically the most exciting thing I did. Yeah. So moving on.
Yeah.
That's not you.
Ne-
Come on.
I'm here now.
Next topic.
People can hear me.
You. Oh
We
god.
can hear Mikey now. Yay, Mikey! Welcome to the Bin
Fixed
Podcast.
it. Yeah, so it's
Fantastic.
stupid. You can't have it so that just your voice goes out. I don't know why. It's
You have to use.
monitoring to
You
me.
have to use. You have to use the audio feed from the Zoom call. You can't use the feed directly from your mic into OBS. Is that the problem?
Unfortunately, it was cutting me out of the Zoom call,
Yeah.
and I don't know why.
So, well, this is kind of a trial run. As you see, Mikey's made us this beautiful, beautiful layout that we're going to start using on Thursdays from now on.
I like it.
Lovely. Thank you, Mikey.
Yeah, thank you, Mikey.
labor
Great
of love.
job.
Thanks,
Very
Mike.
nice.
Great job. And Mikey, you also have. You might have some. Do you want to tell us the big news today, or you want to wait till Thursday?
I'll tease it, and then I'll tell
Yeah.
everybody on Thursday.
To be fair, this is going out after Thursday, isn't it?
Well, the live show's Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, our regular show's Thursday. No,
I'll
but
tell them
we're
then.
we're on Facebook
Yeah.
live. We're on live right now.
Okay.
Yeah. So they can know.
Angle your microphone a little bit downwards when it's like pointing
No,
like a spaceship.
There you go.
I've literally just set myself up. This weren't like supposed to be happening today, so I've not set myself up properly.
That's okay.
I mean,
Rule number one of the bin. Be ready for
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah, I
Anything
think
could
my ring
happen.
light broke as well, which is really annoying.
Yeah, you're all over the place.
Yeah, it's knackered.
So
Damn you,
what's the
Jeff
tease,
Baker.
Mikey? What are we telling people this Thursday? What's the tease? Come on.
There's been some additional changes in what I've been up to. So
What you mean you weren't double involved in it in the first place? What's going on?
even at half strength, I was twice
That's
Yeah, like all Wayne does is show up and fall asleep. That's like kind of his his thing.
Speaking of falling asleep,
I know my
Jordan,
role.
let's
Yeah.
let's talk about you, since
that
you've
kind of-
avoided the entire conversation.
This might have backfired a bit. So on this Thursday, Mike has got some big news. He's going to share with us.
No, Jartan. For people that didn't know, we had a little conversation last night, didn't we? Remember?
Oh, please tell me you recorded it.
Do you remember? Remember last night?
Yeah, I remember everything. That was that was a really good conversation.
So,
That was really good.
let's talk about that verbatim.
Yeah,
Yes.
we so we talked about it, like the difference between the Tory and the Labour Party in the UK. We went through the last
Even I know that's not true.
prime ministers. I was like, what? I have no idea. Like that's what we were talking about.
I'm gonna call bollocks on that.
What,
Not really true.
what call were you on, mate?
I was on a
Someone
call
talk to
with
somebody
you,
else.
and there was a third party into
There you go. If you're talking to your microphone like that, we can hear you. As soon as you turn your head away, I can't hear you, so I can't.
And then he continues to try to change the subject. Let's keep going, Wayne.
Hello,
So, but we do have some video that we want to show you, don't we?
No. Jartan, come on. We're all friends here. Don't try
Yeah.
and start with your little segues. Let's talk about the third party interval.
Dude, I'm sharing this on Facebook. We're not going there, all right?
All right, fair days.
Ah.
But there's a hook for later. Check out our Patreon for more news on Jartan extracurricular activities.
But you can't say that on Facebook. Are you fucking serious? Like, fucking hell. Dude, what the fuck?
Right. You went to hang on. Let's really get nitty gritty, right? Right. Jartan went to an art class last night, right, where he did a real life watercolor with his friend. What's the problem? Exactly. The thing is, right, Jartan was crying to me on the phone after, saying, how is another man able to have a PP that big? It made him feel inadequate, and he cried, and it was emotional.
It was good, and I'm very glad that you could take my call and like help me through the difficult
You know,
times.
we
That
have
was
to
really
look
good.
out for each other. Like, this
Yeah,
is.
so
We
Especially
got you,
during this
bro.
quarantine.
We got ya.
Oh, that's so sweet.
can we please move on now?
Yes. Okay, so obviously, the news doesn't stop just because, you know, the rest of the world closes down. So we actually have a video clip that we would like to share with you, and then we're going to discuss it. Mikey?
So I'm kind of scared to fuck up the layout by trying to share that video. If one of you wants to do it,
Just,
I can grab that. And,
I can do it. Can you just post the link on the chat, please, and I'll get it done.
I did. It should be in our side chat. Brenna, if you could flip it over to him.
Sure.
I can't really do anything. I'm holding my ring mic. Yeah, like.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
okay.
you need to adjust where your mic is because sometimes we get you really loud and clear, but at some
No.
points you are.
I know. The thing is, it's a condenser, so I have to be like leaning
Yeah.
into it. Like that.
That
Yes.
is fantastic. If you do it like that, that would be absolutely amazing.
Yeah, but it's.
All right.
Yeah.
Not
yeah,
the first one. The first one was a bad. Bad
Okay.
copy.
Good. Because it said you
Error.
can't access this from this country.
Stevie Bradley, how you doing?
Davey Bradley, yes, the enforcer.
There you go. Unfortunately, Stevie, Wayne can't see the chat, but I got you.
I can't. Stevie Bradley is a fellow mod from a wrestling podcast that we're both moderators of. He's a good man, a prolific gamer, Mikey, and he's got the best driving rig you've ever seen.
I would get into driving games, but there's like a level of entry with money.
Yeah, plus you don't drop off like your pizza or kebab.
I mean, maybe that's the next game.
Okay. Would you like me to share this one?
That's fine.
Still working on it. There we go.
Do you have it?
Jesus. Yeah, I have it. It's just
Okay.
like I have so many tabs open. I need to close some of them.
My
Yeah.
gain is out of
Close
control.
Pornhub.
But it's free.
Well, to close it is taking up CPU.
Yeah, no, didn't
Just
need that
bookmark it
today.
for later.
It'll show up, right? You
Your
need to
search
finish
history.
watching this.
That would be horrifying. Like, hey, you were almost done watching this, but you stopped suddenly. Did you want to finish watching it?
I'm not allowed to play this video, so
Okay.
you have to do it right now.
Okay, I can do that.
Thank
International
you.
law.
Someone
Yup.
fucking play it.
There we go. Did you share computer audio?
Oh,
Do I have to?
Yep.
Is
Yeah,
it
go back.
fine?
Yeah.
I have to flip it back over, so I'll
Yeah,
wait
you have
until
to.
the ad's done.
Wait, what's going on?
Yeah, you have to unshare and then share again and then make sure that you share computer audio. It's a tab on your bottom left when you get to the share screen.
Tab on your bottom.
So if you're ever having trouble sharing computer audio with Zoom, this is how you do it. You go to the tab on the bottom on your left, you on the share screen. It's a
Share computer
little
sound.
box.
Got it.
Yes,
Okay.
on the left. And as soon as you do that,
Ah,
we will have audio as well.
sorry.
Nobody's going to intro this video. We're just going to play it and then talk about it. Is that
That's
what we're doing? All right, good.
Yes, going.
Why not? It's not even a long clip.
Yeah,
It's 1 minute away in it.
took fucking forever, yeah.
Jartan, read the chat.
Who is hitting their keys like a fucking elephant?
That would be Brad. No. Hey, Peter,
You know what? Shut up.
Peter, get your fucking ass over here so we can have some whiskey to the baker. That would be great.
Okay, I can't share my audio.
All right. So,
Is that something I have to allow?
No, it's my administration controls. I don't.
All right, I'll try to do it. I don't know what's gonna happen.
all right.
Oh, you're still trying.
I am.
She's hacking the Matrix.
All right.
I also watched all of the Matrix movies.
Oh, well done.
I think I.
Oh, that's your desktop.
Okay. Jesus. What's going on with everything?
Brennan,
Brenna, I don't want to see that. Come on.
Brennan, your search history, you're a freak.
You sly minx, you.
I love you guys very, very much.
I know we were making fun of
Yeah, but
Jartan
obviously
about the
not enough.
chickens,
Look
but
at that.
oh my god.
Wow.
Jesus
Okay.
Christ.
I didn't know they made him that big.
Those pigs are so small.
Okay. I think it's this one.
Why
I've
is
never
that
seen a
called-
seahorse there.
Why is that thing called the Void?
Could you guys shut up?
We'll try, but we won't succeed.
We've never been good at that.
Oh, that. All right. As soon as we get the shit fixed and we're going to play that video clip, everybody mute their mics.
Psst. Brenna.
Okay, this is not going very well.
This is hey, welcome to the Bin Podcast with no technical difficulties at all. A new layout and everything's just fucking fine, isn't it?
Brenna.
Holy
Oh
fucking
my god,
shit.
what's going on?
Brenna, stop sharing your screen. Thanks,
What the
Brenna.
hell is going on?
So,
It's okay.
All right,
Okay, I got you.
Mikey, you want to give it a go, mate?
I got
This
this.
is not going very well.
This is not going well.
Brennan, this is what happens when you say accept cookies.
All right.
So what everyone
Jesus.
makes fun of me.
No,
The
we
little
don't make fun
jokes.
of you. We
No,
don't
Mikey,
make-
everyone makes fun of you, rightly so.
So what I can do here
Okay.
is I can Ba-ba-ba. That's fine. This layer invisible.
Slayer.
Okay. Got it right here. Got it queued up.
This is how
I
the
make this look
sausage is
easy.
made.
I make it look easy. I want this one.
Someone play the Jeopardy music right now.
That's okay.
Said many times that the U.S. is doing far better than any other country
Okay.
when it comes to testing.
Got that. Oh. Move that over.
My ring light is
Okay.
officially broken. My
Make it uninvisible. Wayne, shut up.
Oh, okay.
There you go. Now the video's on screen.
Not mine.
Oh, it's not.
Whose screen?
It's on the stream.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Why does that matter? Why is this a global competition to you if every day Americans are still losing their lives and we're still seeing more cases every day?
Well, they're losing their lives everywhere in the world. And maybe that's a question you should ask China. Don't ask me, ask China that question, okay? When you ask them that question, you may get a very unusual answer. Yes, behind you, please.
Sir, why are you saying that to me specifically?
I'm
That I
telling
should
you.
ask
I'm
China?
not saying it specifically to anybody. I'm saying it to anybody that would ask a nasty question
That's
like
not
that.
a nasty
Please
question.
go ahead.
Why does it matter? when-
Okay. Anybody else? Please go ahead in the back, please.
I have two
No,
questions.
it's okay.
But
We'll
you
go over
pointed
here.
to me. I have two questions, Mr.
Next,
President.
next, please.
But you called on me.
I did, and you didn't respond, and now I'm calling on
Sorry, I just
the
wanted,
young lady in the back, please.
I just wanted to let my colleagues
Buffering.
finish. But can I ask you a
Ladies and
question?
gentlemen, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
And then the child walked out of the room because he's a baby. Okay.
Very exciting.
All right, who wants to go first?
He's a baby.
Well, I didn't watch or hear anything that was going on there, but I've seen the clip, and I would just like to say that what a pathetic man. He got called out on his crap, and instead of addressing it, he just like walked away. And then when someone else doubled down on it, he was like, "No, I ain't doing this. That's the leader in a free world." Okay, cool. That's your fella.
Yeah. Okay, of course. But can we first talk about the elephant in the room?
We were talking about it.
Why can't, no, why can't he say China?
China.
Yeah, China.
Okay. Children.
It's disturbing. Every time he says China, there's actual like a physical reaction where I just feel physically fucking ill because
Yeah.
it's just this fucking disturbing.
Hangover.
Yeah, it's like the opposite of the face. It's just like so fucking disturbing hearing him say that. And then the fact that this is your president, ladies and gentlemen. Well, lady and gentlemen. And
Well-
basically, you have the same jackass as your prime, so what the fuck? But so,
Well, this China thing right now, it totally reminds me of when Trump was going after who was it? He always goes after about the Congressional Black Caucus thing. Like, oh no, this is like, you know them, like get them on the phone. Like, no, it doesn't work like that. Like,
All
why?
black people know each other.
Yeah, of course. So it goes the same way with, you know, Asian people. Like, he doesn't even know anything about her. Like
Yeah, you know what?
nationality or like his
I had a random incident of this at my local pub in a pub quiz, and the question was, what was the highest grossing film of, I think it was 2019 or 2018 or whatever, and the answer was Black Panther. I put down Infinity Wars or whatever, and this fella said, "Oh, you should have got that." I went, what? Why should I have got that? Why should I have got that?
You know.
yeah, because
Yeah, but it's the same thing. Oh,
Yeah.
you look a certain way, so you must know.
right.
Nah. Didn't
We're
have a clue, mate.
We're making assumptions about people based on what they look like, what their nationality is, not based on who they are.
No, but
I mean, she's a legitimate reporter, and he immediately only looks at her and goes, "Well, you're Asian, so yeah, you should talk to China. Like, it's your job, not the president of the United States,
You don't
not
think
the
he shit the bed?
administration."
Do you think he shit the bed as soon as like she called him out because he weren't expecting the follow up? So he said, "You said China,
Yeah.
China."
Yeah.
And like she went, well, "Why are you asking me that?"
Yeah.
And he went, "I'm not asking you specifically." And he was like, "Oh shit, I fucked up here. I'm doing one." So as soon as the next reporter came in and tried to back her up,
Hmm.
he was like, "No, I'm done. I'm done." He realised
Which he doesn't like. He doesn't like it when, like,
strong women.
strong women, definitely, but also the reporters, because the reporters have been standing up for these people, not as much as we want them to, but at least they're backing each other up. And the fact that she was the first reporter was getting attacked, and then the second reporter comes in and goes, "Well, I actually want her to finish, but I'm going to come in and ask my question." And he goes, "No, that person over there." Like, it's as if somebody asks him a question that he doesn't want to ask, he just he's not even a toddler. Like,
Do you think there's a new camaraderie within the press pool of the White House where they are backing each other up? Because I know, like, Jim Acosta got thrown out because they didn't like him, and he was from CNN, and then there was a massive backlash against that, so he
Yeah.
got reinstated.
Yeah.
Do you think that there's a new
think
camaraderie?
I think there's always been a camaraderie about them, and I think it's just getting tighter because, first off, like, we are in a global pandemic, which the last time we were really at this point was in, what was it,
1913.
Yeah, for the Spanish flu. It was right after World War One, or during it.
That you named Spanish flu because it started in America.
Yeah. But so what happened was that there were, the thing was that the White House really controlled the information, so the reporters couldn't report on it. And I think understanding that kind of history and knowing how damaging that was, these reporters they have really no choice but to get as much information as they possibly can. And of course, we have a White House that resists giving out information, or they just start attacking. So I'm sorry for you guys, but like, they are going to back each other up because their job is protected in the Constitution.
But aren't you the leaders of the free world?
No, we haven't been. We haven't been for a while. We haven't been for a while.
You were the people that were
No, we got away from you. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
We fought a war. And then what happened? You needed us.
Yeah. And then we were trying to be all like all women period. They said you went, yeah, hold my beer.
Yeah. We can do better. Going to go out and go to the beaches and are going to spread this and take that home, and then it's going to spread. So this is not going to go well. And the right now, our journalists are really the only people standing between us and the truth. And they need to work 3, 4, 5 times as hard as they're doing because we need this information. People are dying. And
What I
nothing's
don't-
going to change. It's going to get worse if we don't get this information.
What I don't get is the government property without AR-15s, without faces covered up, and say you can't tread on us.
Yeah.
What? You can't have it both ways. You literally can't have it both. You can't
And-
have your cake and eat
And
it.
there's another hypocrisy going on too. If you look at some of these protests here in Southern California for the beaches or opening up the economy, I mean they're screaming at the police officers which are covered up in masks and
Blue Lives
they're
Matter.
protecting themselves and they're yelling at them. And these are
Blue Lives
supposed to
Matter.
people that are supposed to go Blue Lives Matter.
Yep.
Like they're yelling, they're endangering the lives of these police officers because they can't stand being told that they need to take responsibility for their own actions, and they don't want to do that.
It's being told.
And then so now all these police officers, all these firefighters, these emergency workers, the doctors, the nurses, they're risking their lives because these people don't want to stay inside. Like this doesn't make any sense to me. They're supposed to be the ones that are that these public servants are gods. They're above everybody. They can do no wrong. And then now you're putting them in danger and you're calling them the cowards.
We have a very similar thing over here. A couple of years ago, there was a junior doctor strike where the government changed the pension plan of doctors, and the doctors were like, "Hang on a minute, we didn't sign up for this," and they went out on strike, which cancelled a lot of operations. Again, free operations that people don't have to worry about paying for and not really in debt for. And the media portrayed them as absolute villains and scoundrels, and doctors have got like second homes here, they've got these other jobs going on here, and they're living a life of Riley. These doctors, they're just taking a piss at you. But fast forward to today, in today's pandemic, oh, look at these heroes, they're saving our lives, they're doing this and that. But the right-wing media have manufactured consent for so much division in our respective countries that it's laughable. When you sit there and you see the press saying, "Oh, doctors are our heroes," and then 2 years ago they were saying doctors are wankers and taking the piss. But people go along with it because they don't realise how easily they are manipulated.
Yep.
And when you point out how manipulated they attack you.
Right.
So,
like you're the idiot. You're the one that changed your
Exactly.
ideas. Like not them. They're fine. They're just like Trump, right? They've
Yep.
always thought this way.
exactly.
Like he's always thought this was a pandemic and it was all of us who didn't believe it.
Yeah.
Which is completely the opposite, and nobody wants to say that.
But the thing is, he's used double speak and double think.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
Yeah.
And yet when you point it out to people, "Oh no, you're an idiot, you're a dick." Like, well, no, here are two examples of this guy saying
Right.
the exact opposite things at two sides of his mouth.
Yeah.
And you can't see it. Why? Because you believe in the mantra and the person. You don't believe in the facts and the logic. You believe in this ideology.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, there are too many people and too many people in power that rely on that kind of psychology to get themselves further in life. Because Trump is a perfect example. We've got our own little can shop version over here, and you can literally lead the horse to water, but you cannot make them drink.
Right.
You might be thirsty as fuck, but it's water.
Yeah.
No, I ain't drinking that.
Yeah.
That's libertarian water. No, it's liberal water.
Yeah.
So,
Gentlemen, would you like to join in the conversation or just
No.
continue listening to me, Wayne? Oh.
it's working.
Your mic is working fine. No. They said we can hear Mikey now like fucking 50 minutes ago, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get it. We don't like listening to you either, so
Yeah, we're the same.
we don't blame you. We don't blame you at all.
We love you, don't worry.
Yeah, no, I think that one of the kind of main problems that I have with this discussion is that we've had it so many times with people who know a lot more about pandemics and diseases and disease prevention than we have. But also, professionals are very, as we've encountered with Dr. Tobias and Dr. Emma when we've had discussion about that, are very careful about making predictions about the future. What is the right way forward and what is the right way to handle something that we haven't seen in the modern world in the last 120 years, right? But I'm like sick and tired about like discussing Corona, because Corona's going to be with us now for forever. Like the coronavirus is going to be a part of our lives now, like the flu or whatever. Until we have a vaccine or a cure for this disease.
Jazz, I just need to correct you. Corona has always been around. It's just this particular strain. So coronavirus has always been here, but it's just different strains, and this particular strain is the one that's really fucking us over. So
yeah,
I just want to make that little.
Yeah, but it doesn't take anything away from the point, though, that this is how it's going to look now, and we need to find a way forward. And we don't really know now. Everything is just conjecture at this point. How we're going to move forward. What I think is a more important point to make is that what happens when the people that are running our countries or who are in positions of power treat us like sexist, second grade citizens. Wow. When they start treating us, fucking hell.
You stepped on your own dick, mate. It's fine.
Yeah, I did. I know I did. All right. When they start treating us like we're second grade citizens, when we are not worth of having this information, and if I don't want to answer your questions, I can just walk the fuck away. That is a fucking problem. And it's fucking dangerous as well. All right. So
it's very dangerous.
Yeah, so I just want us to move away from talking about like the facts around Corona, because the facts around Corona are multifaceted. There's so much shit going on.
But we're talking about the way that we get the information, and we're not getting the information that we need to the point where other people are thinking that because we don't have we don't have all the numbers, we're not doing all the testing, that somehow is fine. That we're the ones that are looking for the information are the ones blowing it out of proportion. That's what we're saying. And that what that causes is these people who are supposed to be protecting us, our police officers, our public safety officials, our nurses and doctors and health officials, they're being screamed at by people who believe that they are faking it,
I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, I live in a country where the model that Sweden has implemented, sorry, the model that Sweden has implemented on how to treat COVID-19 is a model that I don't believe in, right? So I scream and shout about it all of the time because I think they're doing it wrong. I would never do what the fucking...
Massively over here, by the way. The Swedish model is being praised massively over here.
Yeah, and in a year's time, I might have to go back on this and say, yeah, I was fucking wrong. Like the Swedish model was good. The herd immunity happened way faster. We have, like, because we know that a lot of people who get the virus don't show any symptoms, they're asymptomatic.
Right.
They estimate that somewhere between like 70 to 80% of the population will get COVID-19 at some point, and the faster we can get herd immunity, the better off we'll be. And
Is there herd immunity? Have they figured that out yet?
And that's the problem. This is still a theory. This is still a gambling. And this is my main criticism of the Swedish model, because...
And that's a big problem, because we might not have immunity at all, and so the idea is now just spread it as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Whereas here...
Wait. Because this is my main criticism of the Swedish model, is that... is that we are gambling. And who are we gambling with? We're gambling with the old, the sick, and those who are the weakest in our community. We're gambling with those who need our help the most. And that's the lives that are we going to lose, right? So that's my criticism. But it might turn out that in Norway and different countries around the world, we're going to see the same effects over time, and these people are going to die.
Well,
I think that when we don't know yet, I think it's a very high gamble, and we're gambling with human lives, and that's as Spock would say, that's illogical.
Can I interject on this point about herd immunity, please? So it's just a little minor point. So as far as I know, herd immunity only works if 60% of the population has the infection, regardless.
Yeah, that's an absolute minimum.
Yeah, minimum 60%. But that 60% means all demographics. So if you take the fact that we live on a global planet, that means 60% of the entire population of the Earth has to have herd immunity for it to work. So you can't lock it down in these little microcosms of alleged countries, because like you can have 90% of England or 90% of Wales and then 30% of Scotland, but we're all part of the United Kingdom. If that all comes together, it's not going to work. So you have to have 60% plus of the entire population of the entire world.
Yeah.
Because this virus does not discriminate between, oh, you Scottish or you English? Oh, I don't really give a fuck. I'm going to fuck you up. Oh, are you Brazilian or are you Russian? Don't care. I'm going to fuck you up.
I'm white, so...
Yeah.
What?
I mean...
And you're only giving us this information now.
This is bullshit.
Guys, sorry. Was my my video on?
You can just not
I thought that was a filter.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Well,
I also think like this idea between, the different approaches, the herd immunity versus the flattening the curve. I think the reason why flattening the curve is supposed to work is not necessarily to reduce, like to create, the immunity or whatnot. It's supposed to be for helping with the hospitals and decreasing their being able to have the room, have the
capacity.
Exactly. Have the supplies, have the personnel, because you're right. Like most of us are going to get it in some way. It's that the treatment of it needs to be better, and so that's what we have to do. We have to know, where the how to bring the treatment easier. And if we have too many impacting our hospitals, it's going to cause a lot of problems, especially with things like ventilators. Now, maybe I won't get any symptoms, maybe I won't even get it, but that doesn't mean that somebody I know is not going to get it. We have to figure out the best way, and right now the best way I see is flattening the curve as much as possible, and getting those tests in, because that will provide us with the information.
Yeah, but again, the test only tells us if you're sick right now. It does not tell us anything about the future, and on the fact of, with vaccines and cures for different diseases, the fact that we've had the cure for tuberculosis for how long now? I'm gonna allow Google this shit, but it still isn't spread around the globe because it costs money, and we have poor countries, and let's see, vaccine, tuberculosis.
Yeah, but Charles, to put that in context, if you look at HIV and AIDS, it was only considered a problem when homeless people got it.
Yep.
When Freddie Mercury died of it, Magic Johnson got it. Oh, this is a thing. But before that, it was just a gay disease.
Yeah, so we've had the Bacillus category, the BCG, first used on humans, is in 1921. It was first proposed in 1890, so it's been used on humans for 100 years. But it is still not available to all people in the world. Can you fucking believe this shit? That this is still a fucking thing?
Yeah.
For
is there someone making money out of it?
Yeah, but it wasn't. Again, it wasn't made by a private citizen in a private lab. It was made.
Someone was making money out of it.
Now they are, because we're giving it to private companies so they can synthesize it and then sell it, right? So they can make money out of it. But it wasn't made by a private citizen or a private entity in a private lab. It was made by, I just pulled this up, by Robert Koch back in 1890.
Mikey.
And he worked for
Bob Koch.
And he was a German microbiologist and one of the founders of modern bacteriology, and he also got the Nobel Prize in Physiology and Medicine back in 1905. And he worked at
General Electric.
University of Göttingen. University of Göttingen, which is a
American
publicly founded university in Germany. It's
Yeah.
So, like, if you look at like the works of Noam Chomsky, you'll see that most publicly funded universities that do research and stuff, they get their money from the government. Like the Pentagon is the biggest social wanker in the world.
Wait, your microphone is on your left, and you need to stop looking right, because as soon as you look right, I can't hear you.
Oh, sexy.
There it is.
There we go.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's good.
No, the thing is, I'm used to having my mic dangling from the earphones. So
Yeah.
I know. Yeah,
I'm trying to get used to it.
Yeah.
But if you look at
it's getting hot in here.
please keep on your clothes, fuck's sake.
I'll do that today.
The thing
I'm
is,
going to the loo.
which is French, by the way, Mikey. French.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at
Why don't the French have a word for entrepreneur, by the way?
We're going there.
That's my favorite fascism ever. It's a
R-
French word, dumbass. Oh, God.
R&D
Anyway.
is conducted by most American universities. So the Pentagon funds universities for R&D, so research and development.
But something like tuberculosis, we've known for a long time. We've been studying it for a long time.
Yeah.
This particular disease that we're dealing with, we have not had enough time to just to study it. So you can't really compare this to something like tuberculosis or to AIDS or something like that, because we've had it for so long and we have been able to study it. We don't know what's going to happen after this when it comes to whether or not we can get vaccines or some sort of immunity.
No, I was using it as a generality,
Right.
in the sense of the funding for research for certain vaccines or weapons or whatever comes through the public sector, but funded by the state.
Yeah.
And for people to sort of like say, oh, we need to stop all of this to fix like coronavirus. So no, the whole point of it is that we socially fund research to fix these things. We've done it for generations. So all this talk of like,
well, we have somebody who has defunded a lot of that vital
Yes.
resource
that's my
to
point.
a huge point where we probably won't even get anything close to a vaccine right now for years.
I disagree. I think you will. I think that the Americans, British, Canadians,
Mhm.
Germany especially,
Working together. Yeah.
yeah, I think, and especially I would say Japan would come up with a immunity or a vaccine.
Yeah.
Pretty quick. They'll put their heads together.
But that's kind of besides the point. What I'm trying to say is that
Yeah, I lost my point through my train of thought as I was talking.
Yeah.
So when Brennan jumped in, I was like, cheers.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is it has taken us more than 100 years. Well, it's taken us 99 years since we started using CBG on humans, and we still haven't gotten it to every corner of the world, which is a huge fucking failure in every sense of that fucking word, right? And now we have a new disease that is deadly, and especially to African countries that have a large population who are in risk zones because of HIV and AIDS and tuberculosis. We will see a very high death rate within these countries if they have the societal spread of the virus that we've had. And this is
To be fair, you
so
won't, because they're not letting anyone in.
no, not at the moment. But how long can they keep their country shut? They are because I'm not against globalism per se. Like, I think that we all should like rely on each other. We should cooperate, and if you have that natural resource, we could trade that and favors and favors and all that. But so I'm not against globalism, but we have also devised almost a worldwide system of where we rely on other countries for the goods that we need to get by. And because of that, there is only so long that you can have a complete fucking lockdown like this, right? And because of the incubation period is 7 to 12 days. Last time I read, I don't think that has changed. I might be wrong. If I am wrong, write my email, idon'tgiveafuck@gmail.com, and I'll make sure that somebody gets back to you. But the point is that if you get on, like if you work on a freighter, right, and you have to get shit down there, it's not really sure that you've become sick before you get down there, and then you start affecting people, and it's going to be a fucking shit show.
Well, case in point is that American aircraft carrier.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is that if we create a vaccine this time, if we create a vaccine for this fucking disease, we need to make sure that it's spread worldwide within the shortest amount of period of time that we can muster, non-dependent of the cost. And non-dependent on who makes the most money and who makes the least money. This has to be spread as soon as fucking possible. And the fact that we haven't done that for measles or tuberculosis or all these other horrible diseases yet that we've had vaccines and cures for is a fucking monstrosity against fucking
Because somebody
humankind.
has to make money off of it.
And even
Yeah.
worse than that,
All right, but
even if we
wait,
knew that
can
it
you
would
do me a
work,
favor because
some
I think
people
this will
won't.
work better? Can you turn your microphone 90 degrees because I think you're supposed to not talk into the short end of the stick.
me or him.
Yeah,
It should
and
be a
then
side
talk
thing.
into. Yeah, I think it's a side thing.
Yeah.
No, not like that. Not like
He's
that.
gonna be
You're-
sleeping on it by the end. Of it.
Yeah.
I also want to think that we should probably continue this conversation on Thursday because I'm
Yeah, let's have a day
very
off.
hungry.
Yeah, better.
Uh-oh.
And then maybe Wayne can figure out his microphone.
I'm literally
Yeah.
like right now, Brenna. Look, this, I'm holding my ring light. It's snap. And
It's on.
I'm getting
all right.
dizzy.
Yeah.
Let's
all right.
let's do that. Let's continue this on Thursday. Let's do a little bit more research on ourselves, and let's continue this because I think the global impact of this is going to be very interesting, and I wanna do a little bit more research on previous pandemics that we had.
I thought you were going to say the globe. I was like, oh, Brenna.
Hey, why
I
don't
have
we,
a,
like?
you know what? I have a master's degree
In globes.
What if we knew like
in
a
education.
what if we maybe knew a doctor or something who could talk to us about infectious
Do
diseases?
which one? You have to be very more specific about the ones that are on your street.
Yeah,
Like,
what
are
thing-
we missing some doctors that we don't know? Like how many doctors are there?
Well,
How many
All of
do
them.
you have to deliver wine to?
All of them.
All of them. That's how he gets to
Yeah.
stay.
yeah, that's how.
That's
I'm
how
not
they
able
keep
to
him
say this.
around.
down Jartown Street, there are doctors, reindeer, chicken fucking farmers, and Norse gods. That's pretty
Yeah.
much it.
And apparently, people who go to male nude art shows for some reason.
All
But
right.
yeah.
Let's,
Yes.
let's
Yes,
sign
there
off.
is.
Let's
That's our
let's
story,
sign
and
off.
we're
Let's
keeping
go.
to it.
Let's go for Thursday. I have to eat something. It's,
Yeah.
It's
Brenna's
past-
going to go
If-
and pull the ripcord on her toy.
Yeah.
And,
So if this means anything to you, can everybody, Mikey, like I can't do my talk out while everybody's interrupting me. Just mute fucking everybody again. If this means anything to you, what we do on the bin means anything to you, just go to patreon.com/thebinpodcast. It's $1, lot of extra content. We're going to make sure to have Dr. Emma, Dr. Tobias back on. They really want to be back on. They have a lot of more shit they want to talk about. And I'm not really sure because everybody's a fucking freeloader at this point that we're going to do that public. It might be that you have to be a Patreon supporter for the next interview with Dr. Emma and Dr. Tobias.
No, let's
You
do that.
just said
We're
the
gonna do
medicine
that.
should be free for everyone across the world. Oh, you want medical advice? Make sure to go to our page.
You gotta pay.
See how
I
slippery
don't-
that slope is?
I'm not a government, mate. I'm a fucking like I
It's
need
true.
the money. I need to pay Brenna. Like I'm like in debt with Brenna. I can't send her wine, but I need to start sending her some money for all the work that she's
You
done.
can
We have
send
no
me
idea.
money and I'll send her wine. I'm in the
That's
same
like-
country.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have no idea the amount of work that Brenda's done on the podcast. She's doing it for free at the moment. We need to start paying her.
that's news to her.
Yeah, we have,
No, obviously I'm getting
She's
it.
been
You
taking
haven't-
credit for all my work.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
Oh,
have to
please,
pay
Mikey,
for-
you and I consult together all the time.
This is why I need you to mute everybody, because I can't do my fucking stint when everybody's fucking talking in my ear. All right,
This is
go to
talking
patreon.com/the bin podcast. Shut the fuck up, wait. Patreon.com/the bin podcast. Like, share, subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Facebook, and everything. Leave us a comment. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like. And tonight, for Wayne, for Mikey, from Brenna, and for me, thank you. Good night.
Fuck Hassan Parker.
Oh Jesus, we're back on this
That
again.
was not me.
All right.
Oh,
Cut it.
God.
Cut it. Pull the ripcord.
All right, so the recording is done.
Yay. Okay.
Now you need to take us offline as well, mate. Hey,
Yeah. Hey,
internet.
hold
Big good.
on. You just did the other exit. Can someone else have a turn? Thanks.
Yeah.
Big guy. Frustrated. What's up, man? Thanks everybody for hanging out. Sorry for all the technical difficulties. Still working on some things. OBS is fickle. So we will see y'all Thursday, usually 2 p.m. Central. What is the, Jartan, what's the regular
8
time?
p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, 9 p.m. Central European Time.
There you go.
Okay,
For all
you guys
you
got to
people
get this
across the
shit
pond.
together. Like,
You know
there,
what?
we need one time.
Yeah,
No,
so
no, no, no,
it's-
no, no.
One.
We didn't dictate that. That's the law.
Yeah.
Oh, he gets
Greenwich
dibs just because
Mean
it's in
Time is
England?
different to Central European Time. That's just a fact.
All right, I'm
So,
starting the
it-
We
outro
should.
music.
We just do Zulu time. Like that's
Zulu, oh my god, you got Zulu time. Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Zulu
Zulu
is, it's 1900 Irish Zulu. Every Thursday, we're on here. We're talking about stuff. We hope you join us. Please talk us out, Mikey.
No one is recording.